Jason Bourne, 2016. Years after disappearing from the world, Jason Bourne lives off the grid, haunted by fragments of his past. He survives by fighting in underground rings, exchanging pain for anonymity. Each punch reminds him he is alive. Yet every victory echoes with memories he cannot fully escape. In Athens, chaos erupts as protests clash with authority, mirroring Bourne's inner war. When Nikki Parsons hacks into CIA files during the unrest, she uncovers secrets tied to Bourne's father and the origins of Treadstone. She risks everything to find Jason, knowing the truth may finally destroy or redeem him forever. Nikki tracks Bourne through the riots, leading him across rooftops and shattered streets as tear gas fills the air. When they reunite, the connection is instant but tense, shaped by shared trauma and unfinished business. Nikki reveals classified documents proving Bourne was recruited through manipulation, not choice. His father once worked for the CIA and was murdered to keep secrets buried. Before Bourne can fully process the truth, CIA agents close in. Gunfire erupts, forcing Jason into action. Instinct takes over as he protects Nikki, but danger follows them relentlessly, closing every possible escape. Back in Langley, CIA Director Robert Dewey monitors Bourne's movements with obsession. He sees Jason not as a man, but as a loose end that must be erased. Cyber analyst Heather Lee believes Bourne could be brought in alive, offering intelligence instead of bloodshed. Dewey disagrees, unleashing the asset, a deadly operative with a personal vendetta against Bourne. Meanwhile, Nikki and Jason flee Athens, piecing together the files that expose Treadstone's darkest crimes. Bourne's anger grows, not only toward the CIA, but toward himself, realizing his skills were forged through lies and betrayal. Tragedy strikes when the asset ambushes them. In a brutal confrontation, Nikki is killed, sacrificing herself to save Bourne and the truth she uncovered. Her death hits Jason harder than any bullet. Alone once more, he mourns quietly, then hardens with purpose. He escapes the city, disappearing into Europe's shadows. The CIA declares him the world's most dangerous man, launching a global manhunt. Bourne, fueled by grief and rage, decides he will no longer run. Instead, he will confront those responsible, even if it costs him the fragile peace he has built. Bourne traces the conspiracy to Berlin, uncovering connections between Treadstone and a new surveillance program called Iron Hand. The system promises total control under the illusion of security. Heather Lee secretly aids Bourne, questioning her loyalty as she witnesses Dewey's ruthless methods. In London, Bourne infiltrates a high-level tech summit, exposing links between intelligence agencies and private corporations. Every step brings him closer to the truth, but also closer to capture. The asset closes in, leaving destruction behind. Bourne realizes this hunt is not just professional. It is deeply personal, driven by revenge and buried guilt. In a tense encounter, Bourne confronts Heather Lee, demanding honesty. She admits the CIA's corruption, but insists change is possible from within. Bourne remains skeptical, knowing systems rarely reform themselves. He uncovers final proof that his father was killed for refusing to weaponize his son. This revelation shatters the last illusion Bourne held about choice and fate. The CIA sets a trap in Las Vegas during the Iron Hand launch, using chaos as camouflage. Bourne walks straight into it, fully aware, prepared to end the cycle of lies that has defined his existence. Las Vegas becomes a battleground of lights and violence. Bourne evades agents through hotels, tunnels, and traffic-packed streets. A relentless car chase tears through the city, ending in brutal collisions and explosions. Bourne faces the asset in a savage, close-quarters fight that strips both men down to raw survival. In the end, Bourne prevails, ending the threat once and for all. Exhausted but unbroken, he escapes into the night as sirens echo behind him. The world sees only destruction, unaware of the truth that has finally come to light. Dewey's plan collapses, and his obsession proves fatal when Bourne exposes him. Heather Lee survives the fallout and rises within the agency, presenting herself as a reformer. She publicly honors Bourne's victims while privately keeping his file open. Bourne watches from afar, knowing power always reshapes itself. Though the truth is partially revealed, much remains hidden. Bourne understands that justice in this world is never complete. Still, he has reclaimed something vital, his identity. He is no longer a weapon without a past, but a man who knows who he was and why he fought. In quiet moments, Bourne reflects on the people he lost, Marie, Nicky, his father, and the lives destroyed by secret wars. The memories still hurt, but they no longer control him. He chooses distance not out of fear, but clarity. Heather offers him a chance to return, hinting at cooperation instead of conflict. Bourne refuses, understanding that freedom and institutions rarely coexist. He disappears once again, not as a fugitive, but as a guardian of his own truth. The world may hunt him, but it will never own him again. Jason Bourne walks into anonymity, carrying scars that tell a story of survival, betrayal, and resilience. His journey is not about revenge, but about reclaiming humanity stolen by power. Though governments rise and fall, Bourne remains beyond control, a reminder that even the most engineered weapon can choose its own path. His legend becomes a warning whispered in intelligence circles, a man who exposed the cost of secrecy. As the screen fades, Bourne vanishes into the crowd, finally at peace with his past, yet always ready, because the world he knows never truly stops chasing.